Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book, and
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a visual.
I had a visual. He's proud of it. I'm trying to tag the organization, Bob. We're working on it. How you doing over there, down there at the end? Bob.
How you doing, Bob?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
He's like, you, me. Yeah. Listen, we've assembled a pile of boys at this table today. We've got, 4 microphones that we're working with, 3 mic stands. We're going to get it done regardless. So with me today, I've got Ryan, I've got Kyle, I've got Whitman, and Bob Curtis, the president of the Falmouth Commodores. I apologize for what I did, not throwing the pitch to the actual catcher that I was supposed to. That was a fun experience for me the other day. Grab the microphone and talk about your season a little bit, Bob, and introduce your interns this year.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting year, and we're fortunate to have with us 3 of our broadcast and media interns. I think Falmouth is probably the premier team with the best broadcast and media communications group. They interview players, they broadcast the media live, the event live, a lot of commentary, do the play-by-play. Write articles for the newspapers and magazines. So it's a full service group that we have here. And we're having a good season. We're wavering right around somewhere between first and third place. Kind of, it's a very tight field this year.
It's one of the better ones for the Doors that we've had in a bit, right?
Yeah, I know. It's been this is much better than the last few years anyway. And so we're hoping to looking forward to working in the playoffs in the beginning of August, and giving our shot at the championship. But yeah, no, and there's been a lot of change. We've had, we have a new manager, Jared Saltalamacchia, who
very cool,
very, very cool. He, former Red Sox 2013 World Series winner, played 12, 13 years in the majors. Really cool guy, and a whole new coaching staff, and so it's a whole new level of energy at the team this year. We've been running a clinic program that's just been knocking it out of the park. We're pretty much sold out for the year now.
So exciting.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Because the last couple of years it's been dwindling, and so a lot going on. But I'll let these gentlemen introduce themselves a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't know which one of you wants to take it, but I mean, maybe you can talk about your experience getting here. Like, what was the process like? How did you even decide, hey, I'm going to go work for the Cape Cod Baseball League this summer?
Yeah. So I'll go first. So when I originally reached out and found out about the Cape League, I found out through some family, hey, this sounds cool. Why don't you try it? And I reached out originally to the league, to Cape League, and I met with one of the producers, and he sent me to Falmouth and said, you should check out these guys and see if you can help them in any way. So I reached out, and I see a director position is listed as open on the website. And I had an interview with our new director of broadcasting, Alan, and that went really well, and I felt really good. And it just took off from there. What about you, Whit?
Well, for me, it was probably relatively unorthodox compared to most other people. It was a Friday, I think in about October, and I was sitting in my room in my apartment at school, and I had finished up my schoolwork for the week. I was just sitting there playing my PlayStation, enjoying my long weekend, and my mom sent me a text message. She's in maybe 30 different of those parent Facebook groups for Alabama students and parents.
We love our children no matter how old they are.
And she sent me a text message of a screenshot that one of the ladies that turned out to be my supervisor, she teaches online classes at both Alabama and South Carolina, and put in that parents group that said, this is a great opportunity for your kid to come work, in baseball, in the Cape League, once in a lifetime kind of thing. And she sent it to me and was kind of like, if you don't take this internship and at least apply, I think I might do it for myself.
Did you know the prestige of the Cape Cod Baseball League before, or like?
I did actually.
Okay, good.
Growing up, baseball's been, sports in general, but mostly baseball has been everything to me ever since I was tall enough to put on a glove. So once I found out I had an opportunity to do something like this, I jumped on it as quickly as I could. So, I mean, most of these guys and a lot of people I know, you know, they go through their school or they go through, they do it themselves. For me, it was a Facebook parent group that got me
Yeah,
here.
right.
So God bless Facebook.
That's amazing. How about for you, Kyle?
I'm Ryan. But
Ryan, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I'm
the
Ryan.
worst.
I'm actually one of 7 interns this year of the 35 intern group that was here last summer.
Oh, that's exciting. So you kind of knew the ropes a little bit.
I do. Yeah. So I'm from Massachusetts originally. So I've heard of the Cape Cod Baseball League and knew the kind of work that we do in Falmouth and with the other 9 teams in the league. So being a broadcaster, knew it was a place I wanted to be. So I got in last year as an associate producer and director. And to Bob's credit, like we were saying, the resources that we have in Falmouth are great to learn from a broadcasting perspective and developing by being a production member and being on air. So got in last year as a director. It was really cool to get our feet wet. We hosted the All-Star game, like we were just talking about. And so understood the whole setup from there. And then got the return offer to come back as a broadcaster. And for me, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of change in the organization, but the goals and missions of providing high quality content and being a developmental program for the 35 interns, the players, the coaches, anyone involved is still there. And so it's been really cool to work with these guys and put together a cool product now in year 2.
What's up, Nate? Thanks for joining us. Eleanor, we've got some Falmouth Commodores on with us this morning. Bob Curtis, the president of the organization, has brought us. Kyle and Ryan Whitman here, who are all broadcast media journalism students in that realm of things, digital storytelling, right?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it totally
It's all
is.
the same.
Well, it's also the shift in the way things are in school. I feel like media has changed dramatically over the last 5 years. So from what you grew up thinking you wanted to do to what you're in school for now, I'm sure even that has shifted. Maybe talk a little bit about how the organization is kind of homegrown. I really love the fact that you're living out of your comfort zone. You're living with families. You are really a part of Falmouth life.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your host families?
Yeah, I'll start with that. Yeah, so it's really interesting the different setups that we have in the league. It's baseball at its peak. So again, Cape Cod Baseball League, there's no tickets. You can just show up with your beach chairs and towels, and there's no way in which you have to pay, $30, $40 for your family to go watch a game. So homegrown, as you mentioned. And part of that is our living situation too. So I know I'm in a house with 6 other interns right now. And it's become, some of my closest friends.
Yeah, your new
They're at
family.
School, literally. So that's been a ton of fun to be there. And then once you get to the field, it's those same guys that you're working with. So just telling Bob that when you go to the press box, we have Alan Russell, who's been great so far, and someone who's come in and understood the technology, but he is also super hands-off and lets us do our own thing. So you'd go in and it's a very professional-like environment where there's 7 or 8 of us media interns up there all working together, and we all have our own role that we kind of have gotten to know through 27 games. And it's just us kind of running our own show because we know what it looks like and we know what it looks like when it's done well. So now we have the resources to make that product, and it's been fun to do so.
How do you know where you fit in up there? I mean, the booth is small. There's a lot of jobs to be done. I mean, you made it look like a well-oiled machine when I was there the other day. It was really, I was blown away.
Kyle's a quarterback in there.
Yeah. So
He's like me. That's why.
I can help out with that question. So everyone has a role, and in the beginning of the year when we all come in, we all kind of talk about the roles. Even before the shows, before the games, we're all talking about our roles. And it's all like after the first 2 games, everyone knows what to do, knows how to do it. And it's just, like you said, a well-oiled machine. And it just keeps going and going. And it's one of the cool things about baseball. But it's usually like the same thing. All right, we have a new starting pitcher. Now we're going to do this. We're going to get these graphics in to show his stats. And we're going to talk about him like this. And then, there's another pitcher warming up in the bullpen. All right, let's get a shot of the bullpen. So it's just repetition, right? And after all that repetition, everyone starts to get it. And it just becomes better every day.
See, even the media students are the same as the players themselves. Do you guys hang out? Do you all have a camaraderie about each other?
Yeah, I think it got started pretty early. My first day there, I'm a little unique with my living situation. I live with 5 other interns, but I think I'm kind of unique, and I'm the only one out of the 6 that is a different branch of interns. So I live with 5 game day operations people, the people that run the show during the game, concession stands, merchandise,
Okay.
our raffle tickets, all of that. And I myself, I'm a little different. I'm media. So when we first got there, our first day, they were like, hey, one of the other interns in our game day group is having some people over tonight. And I was like, if I'm not sitting at home alone, I'll tag along.
Yeah.
And from that first Saturday night, and I think it's no more than 2 or 3 days apart that we're either having people over to our house or we're heading over to other people's houses. We did 4th of July at his house, went to the beach, watched fireworks, came back, hung out in the backyard for 2-3 hours. I mean, the relationships that we've built this quick, it's amazing. I've lived with these guys for 2 months now, and it feels like I've known them all for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's really special.
It's a real
how
life
quick we were
summer
able to
catch.
come together.
It really is, though. I love it. Ryan, you were rifling off stats sitting over here.
Yeah.
Is that something that you like to do?
Yeah, well, you hear from Kyle, we're all like kind of sports people and nerds with stats and stuff. I think that's a cool way to look at it, and be the storytellers in that way. So we always are finding ways, whether it's by a player who's got the most home runs in the league. That's one of our players and one of our all-stars right now. It's a way in which, you can articulate how great Falmouth is compared to the other guys. And I think it's been cool to do. And then you balance that. Whitman's exactly right with the off the field stuff where we're probably at someone's house every other night because we're just college kids all living together. And that's also a credit to, I think, Bob Curtis and the setup that we have where we have a meal together. It's kind of like a family. At the end of every game, a sponsor will provide us food that gets devoured in 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
from
I'm sure.
35 hungry interns at the end of the game. So doing that, but definitely stats are a huge part of what we do.
If you had your ideal job, what would it be?
I think it's changed since I've gotten here. So
Yeah.
I think being with the Commodores for 2 years now, it's shown me that I really do like baseball. So we talk about it all the time of like, we all want to work in sports, whether it's sports business or sports broadcasting. And I think there's so many different ways to do that. One of the tougher ways could be the minor league baseball route. So just like the players, broadcast and media students would start with lower level minor league systems and then work their way up to the major leagues, which can sometimes mean you're doing 6 games a week and away games could be 2.5 hours away. It's a real grind, but I think working with the Commodores has shown I love to do baseball. So I can see myself going to be a minor league broadcaster for baseball. I don't know if you guys noticed any of the same.
For me, yeah, growing up, I was like every other kid, I think, in the world. I wanted to play professional baseball. I wanted to be a professional quarterback. I wanted to do all these things. I wanted, my name on a jersey and to be famous. And I realized around sometime in middle school or high school that nobody was going to pay me to play the sport. So I figured I might as well see if I get paid to talk about it. So I think what Ryan's doing now with this broadcasting field, that's kind of what I've always been interested in. But coming in this year as the writer for the team, writing feature stories about what the team's doing, certain players, community events, it's kind of taught me that there are a million different ways to get into sports.
Yeah.
And really, nobody's handing out jobs at ESPN, left and right. So you just you got to get in where you fit in until you can get where you want to be.
Yeah, I think that is a eye-opening for a lot of kids in college when they take that internship. But I feel like this internship is really, you guys got a gem because you get to see a lot of the things and maybe develop a little bit more skills than you thought you were going to have and like stuff that you didn't know you were going to like.
Yep.
So that's great. What is your specific job, Kyle?
So I am video director.
So you're behind a camera.
Yeah. The way I like to describe it is when you're watching a sporting event of any kind and you can see switching between camera angles, I get to choose what you guys see. And I direct the camera guys and tell them what to shoot and how to shoot it and stuff like that. And we're always, whatever you see on the monitor or your broadcast, that's what I'm putting up there.
What's up, Dave Hegner? Good morning, Mari. We're joined by the Falmouth Commodores this morning. Kyle, so yesterday, the big news was the whole Coldplay concert. Everybody was talking about it. This was a camera angle. The cameraman decided we are doing this. And Chris Martin decided to call out this couple. Are there certain things you look for? Not to blow up people's spots, but cute stuff in the audience or stuff off the field ever? Are you always looking for those moments when you're looking?
Completely.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that the director of that video board show at the Coldplay concert, I don't think he knew the CEO part.
Yeah.
But he definitely knew what he was doing by choosing that shot.
Yeah.
And then Chris Martin goes on to talk about it. And yeah. It was great.
In case you're waking up from under a rock today, there was a Coldplay concert in which a couple of people were hanging out, having a loving moment, although they weren't each other's spouses. So it was definitely a situation that was called out. But that was a cameraman win right there, as far as I'm concerned. You made national news for Coldplay. Not that they need a stroking to their ego by any means, but that's those TV moments, right? Those moments that you're like, all right, chalk me up, give me an award. I found this in the crowd and it was a thing. So yeah, I was just curious if there's anything specific that you're ever looking for when you're out there or just looking for a moment.
Just looking for moments. If you can capture one, it's always hard. It's always kind of a guessing game. Like you have to guess whether, all right, am I going to get something out of this, or are they just going to sit there and do nothing and then no one's entertained by it?
DJ Danny Walsh. Good morning, Stephanie. Ask them what their favorite Commodore song is. LOL. Do you even know who the Commodores are?
I don't think so.
They're so young, Danny. Lionel Richie.
I think we look up Commodores, thinking about Falmouth Commodores. And we see
I know.
that. Yeah, that's
They're
what it
like
is.
baseball. Baseball. We think baseball. That's so cute. Pure stupidity. Oh, on the CEO couples? Absolutely. Dawn on the West Coast, thank you for joining us this morning. We've got Kyle, Ryan, Whitman, and Bob here, the president of the Falmouth Commodores. You guys are having a great season. I don't want to jinx anything just because I'm just really excited about it. If you've never been to a Cape Cod Baseball League game, you are missing out. It is quintessential Cape Cod. It is one of those places that you can bring your entire family for free and watch great baseball. You're watching league stars that could be major league ball players of the future. And it's really, really, I don't know. It's just, we're lucky people to have it here on the Cape. And I think that we take for granted, Cape Codders out there, that it's right in our backyard and free to you. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's scouting, there's recruiting, there's deals. It's maybe talk a little bit about those backdoor situations. I mean, without getting into it, Bob.
A little bit. I mean, we just completed the Major League Baseball draft earlier this week. And we had 17 players. So is that correct?
I think closer to 20.
17 players drafted by the major leagues out of just the Commodores. And we had 3 people that were drafted in the first round, which is a real tribute. And that kind of gives you an idea of that quality of baseball that you see. And other teams are very similar. They get a lot of first rounders. Probably 30% of the draftees of about 600-700 draftees, probably 220 are Cape Leaguers. And so it's, the quality of the baseball you're seeing for free, I might add, is,
Right.
And it's the old school. You can sit on a hill, you can sit in the bleachers. We sell hot dogs for $3.50. Try to do that at Fenway.
Yeah, right.
And,
I love that, though.
yeah.
I can go over some of the stats too. Again, just talking about the
I
numbers
love
and how
it.
it works out. So you look at Major League Baseball right now, and it really is. Our slogan is: you get to watch the stars of tomorrow shine tonight, because 1 in every 4 Major League players or so was actually a Cape League alum. So when you also consider how many international players play in Major League Baseball, some guys who've never came to the U.S. before they played professionally. 1 again every 4 guys, that's are mostly the American guys, played in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Something we think about in Falmouth is 2 years ago, Travis Bazzana won Cape League MVP with us. Fast forward to a year later, he's the first overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft. So he's going to be a star in the professional leagues, and we got to see him for almost 40 games in Falmouth a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's really a treat that you're getting this experience. All-Star game is coming up. Talk about that experience a little bit.
Yeah, so I was talking to Bob a little bit ago about how Falmouth hosted the 2024 All-Star Game. That was our first time in over 2 decades hosting the All-Star Game. It was a really special day back at our home field. So that was a cool experience. We got to build off of that. And now it'll be at Yarmouth Dennis, one of the other teams in the East Division. Exciting game where the Commodores have a league most 8 players represented. That's our most all-star selections in over a decade. So as Bob was saying, it's been a really good season for us, and it'll be an exciting day to bring all those all-stars. A couple of our interns were honored and got selected to work that game as well. So it's going to be a really exciting day, a long day Saturday, but it's always one of the best days of the year.
8 players from Falmouth. That's pretty exciting. Now, we in Mashpee do not have a Cape League team. However, we did have a Cape League team at one time. And I guess it was just the 75th anniversary. I think Mashpee Enterprise did a thing about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not aware of that.
Right? We had a little team. We won the Cape League All-Star game at one point in time, 75 years ago, when we did have a team. If you ever want to read about the Mashpee team, you can go to our town archives. Richard DeSorger is over there at our town archives, which is across from Town Hall. And they've got some really cool baseball lore in there. So definitely worth checking out if you're a baseball fan. Tiny little museum that's over there. And Richard will tell you all about it sometimes. But, typically, as a Mashapean, we support either the Doors or we support the Cavaliers. Now, it's kind of split right in the middle. It's almost like a New York sports fan situation going on of who supports which side. But I always say we support the Commodores because there's 2 M's in Commodore and 1 is for Mashpee. So this is what I'm rolling with right now. My husband also born and raised in Falmouth. So we have our lines drawn.
I live in Mashpee.
Yeah,
also.
see, there you go. We have ties here. How do you keep that field looking as nice as you do with all the damn geese?
That's always a challenge. We work with the Department of Public Works in Falmouth, but we also invest a lot and have a lot of time put in, coaches' times, players' times, of manicuring the field, because we really need to have. You don't want to have holes in your field where somebody could twist an ankle, which a few fields do.
Yeah.
And
you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. That's right. There's a reasonable amount of investment that goes in there between the town and between the team.
It is all hands on deck. Maybe give a little love to your sponsors, because without them, I mean, you would not be getting this done. It's like everybody's pitching in.
Yeah, no, the team, we're a nonprofit, and we have to raise all of the money that we need, either through sponsorships or donations or selling baseball caps at the gate. And it's over $350,000 every year. And some of that goes into the field because the town will cover some of it, but not all of it. But we have a tremendous group of sponsors. We have about 70 sponsors, commercial sponsors this year, companies. Everything
Amazing.
from a pizza parlor to a major construction company. A golf course. Yep. Turn it back. Falmouth Country Club is
Thank
a big
you very
huge
much.
sponsor.
Very
for us.
nice.
And they actually allow the players to play for $5 or free and the interns. And
We do take advantage of that. for sure.
As you should.
yeah,
Plenty.
yeah. And so so it's really a community effort. We get a lot of support from the community of Falmouth, quite a bit.
Talk about your volunteers for the organization,
So,
because they do a lot.
Yeah, and a lot. We have about 80 volunteers, and it's most of the work. People don't realize it is January through June because it's the planning, and it's recruiting these guys, right? And it's getting the sponsorships, the funding, organizing the schedules, and the functions from ordering merchandise for the shack and concession stands, and so the real heavy lifting, quite frankly, is between February and June. Then running the game, with that we have 34 interns total.
Yeah, that's a lot. And that's a lot of new human beings to manage and make sure run like the way you run it. It's impressive.
Yeah, and the interview process for that begins in the fall. And I want to mention that these are our broadcast media guys. There is no question in my mind that we have the premier group in media and broadcast for the Cape League. No question at all. And the other interns are all very, very good, but all of these kids or guys, women, they're not paid. They do not get paid a cent. So they're coming down here and spending hours and hours and hours on our team for experience. They're getting something out of it. But that's why when we provide food, it's gone very quickly.
Well, they're fed, they're housed, they're well loved. It's not like get in your box, we'll pick you up tomorrow, you get no money. There are parts of it that are amazing, but your volunteers that house them and feed them and make them part of the family, I think that's just an incredible thing that we do.
So my wife and I have been hosting since 2007 players, and after this year, we will have hosted 45 players in total. And some of them were temporaries. They kind of came in for 3 or 4 weeks and left. we literally have 4 kids sleeping at our house right now.
Yep.
And I can only tell you, when I'm not at a game, I'm at Market Basket shopping for food. So I buy dozens and dozens of eggs at a time.
That's it. You
Yeah,
gotta.
Yeah, and I do a lot of the cooking in our house. So yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And of the 45, we had 41 up until this year. Where my family's still in touch with probably 39 of them, and we text them, send them birthday presents. They have kids, we send them baby gifts. We know their parents, we keep in touch with their parents. It's really an extension of your family,
Yeah.
and both with the player and their family sometimes, not always, but a lot of times.
I want you each to talk about your experience just a little bit before we go, and just, kind of people that are on the fence, people that are thinking, should I go for that internship or whatever? Maybe talk about how this has impacted your space.
So one of the things I didn't realize when I came here, I had no idea. I've never been to Massachusetts before. I haven't really been on the Northeast. I'm from Michigan. So when I got here, one of the biggest realizations was, holy crap, everyone loves baseball and everyone knows baseball. And you're always going to talk to someone, especially in Falmouth and around Mashpee, that likes the Commodores and knows what's going on with the team. So getting here, that was awesome. It's so cool how many fans are devoted to this team. Like, it's definitely, if you get the opportunity, take it, because it's so awesome to see, and it's so much fun to work with all the interns, and like they said, living with the guys, it's awesome. It's a great experience.
For me, anything that I would tell somebody would have to revolve around the fact that, like, what you're doing here, we've talked about it, and Ryan's right. The hands-on experience you get and what you take away from your job is second to none. Working around All-Americans, draft picks, things like that, working in a business like this. But I could honestly say this is one of the few places where I could spend my entire summer, not get paid a dime. Mm-hmm. And if I took nothing away from my job, I'd still be happy because of the summer that I've had. I mean, I talked with somebody when I first got here, and they said they live here. So they told me, they said the Cape is magical. And once you're on it, whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 months, you're never the same again. And I kind of thought that was a bit odd. I'm like,
that's weird.
I've been to the beach before. I don't know, but in my 2 months here, it could not be closer to the truth. I mean, like I said, if I never learn a single thing about how to be a better writer or a better journalist, this summer will be a success of great proportion, just because of the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had. I mean, being able to drive through a Main Street USA type of place, turn a corner, and then you're looking out into the Atlantic Ocean and see Martha's Vineyard next door to you. I could call Ryan, say, hey, let's go get a lobster roll before the game, get there, and it'd just be, your dream day before going to work. It really is. It's second to none. And it's something that I will probably take with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to follow up.
I know, right? I was like, oh, he sees us.
Yeah. I think Whitman's exactly right about the experience and the location that you're in too, right? Like, we're not broadcasting or on air for 15 hours a day. So the experience, whether we're like Kyle and up at 4 a.m. to work at the golf course, or enjoying time at the beach or enjoying time with each other, I think that camaraderie is really great. But once you get to the field, it is, whether you're social media, baseball operations, broadcasting, it's as thrown into the fire for an experience as you can have, and it just makes you better. I think this is 2 summers in a row now where that first week or so I get there, I'm looking around, I'm like, can I do this? Like, this is tough. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then by now, as we enter August, like, exactly what you're doing, and you're getting hands-on experience, as Whitman was saying, and what you've done because you put in the work to understand, after getting thrown into the fire, what it looks like. And that's what's going to be in the professional realm. Whether you're doing social media, game day operations, or broadcasting, this is about as professional of an environment as you can get. It's just going to make you better for when you go back to school. So if you have the opportunity, definitely take it in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and there's no better organization to do it than in Falmouth.
Yeah, we've got so many great teams out there. So support one of your locals for sure. Get involved. There's always time to volunteer, and it's never too late or too early. There's always something to be done year round. So Bob will take your information for sure. And shout out to Kathy Ingersoll, who's just absolutely amazing. She's the one who got me connected with all of you. And I'm really thankful because once you're a Cape Codder, you're always a Cape Codder. And we will find jobs for you. We will find ways to include you. And we we will find you here. So go grab a baseball game and support the All-Star game. 8 Commodores are going to be playing in the All-Star game coming up this Saturday. And that's at YD, right?
Yes,
At
ma'am.
YD, yep.
Anything else we need to know about the organization before we go? Where do people find out more information online?
The Cape Cod Baseball League website would have a lot about the All-Star game.
Okay,
And
perfect.
then our website also is very informative. And then we are on Twitter and
All the
Facebook,
socials.
All the social.
Whitman, where do we read?
You go to the team website, you click the news tab, you will find everything from my feature pieces. I have covered things. I have started recently a coach profile series, talking about all the way from our field manager, Jared Saltlamakia, getting to
So cool.
pick his brain about what it's like to be a head coach here. His assistants who have won national championships at the D2 level. His pitching coach is one of the weirder yet most cool people I've ever met. He's spent the last 20 years as the pitching coach at MIT. So definitely a different bird
Nerd
right there.
ball.
Yes. I've written pieces about our Fenway Day when all the Cape teams go and take batting practice at historic Fenway Park. We've
Amazing.
got, so you can find a good feature piece there. If you didn't come to a game or want to know about it, we've got our beat reporter, Noah Nussbaum, who does a great job. He's putting out game recaps every single game. So
Love it.
you can find just about everything you need right there.
Go see a baseball game today. Aaron, thanks for joining us this morning. Kyle, Ryan, Whitman, Bob, thank you so much for being on with us this morning. Shout out to Mashpee TV for always hosting us and being so kind. Chris Ball and his staff here, absolutely amazing. And if you want to be a member, the dough is low and you can utilize all of the space that they've got over here. Also, you can watch us in HD, channel 1072. If it's not working for you, you need a new box. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Weekend events, we have got plenty of them. DJ Curtis is over at Dino's tonight. And Sunday, we've got a farmer's market over in Mashpee. And it is a pop day. We've also got a food demo. So food-minded fellow, Gavin, who is a professional chef, is going to be there. He's going to shop the market. Then he's going to prepare a meal. So you'll be able to see what he's made with the food that is grown right here locally. And that will be captured on Mashpee TV as well. Have a great weekend. Take in a baseball game, will ya? And from the Commodores, we say thank you. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.